Hello, welcome to Pro Modeler. I'm Phil Flory. Loads of things been happening over the weekend. Didn't get the blog up on Friday, it's obviously why I'm doing it now, and I said I'd do it Sunday, and then obviously, as you may have noticed, on the forum completely collapsed. The reasons behind it, basically what happened was, it was due for an upgrade. We were actually upgrading the forum, going to make it all very nice, so we got time codes on, we could do polls, literally we could do anything at all with the forum. At the moment it was, well, was back then quite limited. The people who were doing it all, it went completely tits up. Happened at the weekend, as you know, worst time it could possibly happen, so we ended up having to sort of wait, and then it was working, then it wasn't, and all the rest of it. So it's sort of through everything. Came back online this morning, I went on there and it's all over the place. The usual things, all the parameters and the sort of different things that the moderators can do, what you see, what you can't see, was all over the place. The colours are all up the Swanee. There's like a grid effect so you can read it easier, isn't on it at the moment. But this morning I spent all morning basically trying to get it up to speed and everything. There's loads of great new features that are going to happen at the forum, and it's all they interact nicely with the chat room as well, so you can actually have a profile now on your chat room bit as well, and all various bits and pieces. It all comes together. There's a calendar on there that we're going to use full use of, that actually pings up and gives you little text messages and type things, and it literally does loads of things that even I'm just basically getting to grips with. So anyway, that's the reason for that. And as I say, the run up to Friday was a complete nightmare for me. I had a few personal things. I had to go pop quite a distance away to see some people on Thursday, so I was out all day Thursday. Came in Friday, I was doing a show on the Saturday, and I had to prepare for the show, and a lot of the stuff that was supposed to be delivered on the well, basically the lead up to Friday didn't show up, so then I had to go and get it, so that's why it all went completely to pot. We're getting very, very close to finishing off the flanker, he says, quickly getting back on track. It's basically done. We've just got to arm it now, unmask it, and a final flat coat over the top, so that's really done. So I'll get the last, which will be 2 parts I think, up there. One will be up tomorrow, and then I'll put the straight one straight after that and get going on that. But that's the flanker. It's basically all done. There's various items going out to you guys, which back in the last week for the members, I've got some gifts and various bits and pieces going out to you. That's the reason they haven't gone out quite yet. Also, if you've won any prizes and you haven't had them yet, send me an email just to chase things up, because we did have a case where it looks like a mailbag was stolen from a van after it collected from here, somewhere along the line. So I know 2 people's stuff has gone missing and has now been recovered, sent back to me, but in the meantime I have already sent you replacements out. So if you haven't got your Pro Modelers medal yet, whoops, if you haven't got your Pro Models medal yet, I have got a few spare ones just in case some went missing. So if you haven't had it yet, drop me a PM or email me and we'll sort them out and get your medals out for you for the group build that's just finished. So we'll get that all sorted out. Whilst we're on it, had a lovely show on Saturday at the North Somerset Modelers Club. They did their show at Weston-super-Mare, well, it was Locking just outside. Lovely little venue. Great to speak to loads and loads and loads of you who came up nice, had a chat. It was like quite nice because it was a little quieter than normal. If you didn't and we had the situation with everyone around, apologies I didn't get to you. Right, just off the cuff, I've got to thank Mr. Lloyd King on the site, who has sent me not only an F-22 to build, and this is the tricky bit actually, this box is a nightmare to open, it's a good box. He also happened to send me the Wolfpack resin cockpit set for it, and also the surfaces for the engine nozzles and all the rest of it. Now obviously this is going to be a full build which will be on the site as soon as we can possibly get it up to. I'll give you a quick run through. For those of you who don't know about it, Academy, I've done a 1/48 scale Raptor, which is all singing, all dancing. Obviously if you've built the Italieri ones and the ones a bit before that, they were roughly the sort of YF-22, which is a different, you know, there's lots and lots of different things on it. As you'd imagine with a new kit, great instructions, quite nicely done actually. They're more sort of cartoon wise than just sort of CAD drawings, showing you how some of the parts go in and the various bits and pieces. So the instructions are very, very nice. The other thing that's quite nice with it is the decal sheet. I'll show you in a moment, but you can do literally any of the current Raptors that are out there, so it covers absolutely everything. Same as if you've been following with the Academy flanker build we're doing. It comes on a card base, which is quite nice because it stops it warping and getting knocked around and everything else, as well as it gives you an idea of roughly how big it's going to be. It's quite a big beast. So we have that. Still all bagged up. But as you can see, you've probably seen the things all around the net. I'll do a full run through obviously for the build, but basically sandwich 2 halves together makes for nice joins, no more tricky one going across the back and things like that. It's got fantastic weapons loadout on it. There's the decals we were talking about, which cartograph decals, so they're going to be absolutely lovely and fantastic. I've really just only had a quick look through it. 2 canopies, one's smoked, one's not, which is quite nice. The weapons bays, very nicely detailed. Obviously we've got the resin set there, and we've got all the other bits and pieces for the cockpit. But the cockpit itself, although it's a bit bland for a 148, usual thing with a canopy, they don't tend to go over the top with the canopy, with the cockpits and things like that. But it is quite nice. It's very nicely detailed. As I say, I've really only had a quick look around it because it actually arrived on Friday. And the things, but as I say, you get the drop tanks, all the other bits and pieces that come with it, and there's not a great deal of sprue to it, but being modern, very nice flat areas and things like that. But as I say, it should be a very fun build to do, and I will get on with it literally at the same time as I'm going to get on with the other builds that I'm doing. You might have seen on the site there's a poll that's running at the moment. That's doing very well actually. I think we've got about 400 of you voted on that now. It looks like it's going to be the F4 Phantom. So what will happen is, to give you a rundown what's going to happen at the moment, various things we're still doing with the site, trying to get it ready. I want to get the forum sorted out, so that's all fine and running nicely. So all this week what I'm going to do is be updating the site with some more builds. What we've got is some, there's a lovely Tornado build that's going to be up there as well, which will be a photo build, which Marcus has done, which absolute beauty, fantastic one. Got a flanker that obviously, say, the last 2 parts will go up there, and then I'm going to straight get on with the Edard 148 Fokker-Wulf, which I've been promising to do since before Christmas, but I'm really sorry. You know how these things are, commission stuff comes along as well, so I am sort of governed what I can and can't do at the same time. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the Chinook, and somehow I'm going to fit the Raptor in amongst it all as well, because we'd like to get that done. Okay, just have to say, PayPal with subscriptions, every day I get emails coming through saying, you know, subscription's been cancelled, and then I usually send out an email to you saying, by the way, it's been cancelled, do you want to carry on, all the rest of it. If it does pop up, can you jump on it quite quickly, because the thing is, what happens is the system automatically gets a thing from PayPal and the system closes your account there and then. It's me manually has to go along and reopen it, and usually I give you a couple of days or a week, or sometimes you forget about it, you get a month, and then it goes on. At the end of the month, or every 28 days or something like that, the system checks up against the list of everyone who's paid, and then what happens is, if you haven't, it just cuts you off, and then I get a list about 48 hours later when I do like a weekly check and things, and it gives me a list of who's on there and who isn't, who's been removed and whatever. So sometimes people get lost amongst this list system, and you might have been kicked out, whatever. But the thing is, in an effort to sort of help me out and to sort of, you know, sort of lighten my workload, I've integrated the forum onto the list as well. So if you've been kicked off of PayPal, has cancelled your account for the site, what happens is it'll kick you off the forum as well. So what happens is I tend to get a list in the morning that comes up and says everybody at midnight tonight's going to be chucked off, and I have to manually go and disable all those things and like override the system to give you a bit more time to pay. But if you can make sure your payments are all up to date and you've got credit cards on file, it would really help me out, because I'm spending literally about 2 hours every day now just doing this type of thing. What I'll also do is to make things a little bit easier, and if you want to, obviously it's personal choice, but I'll do the subscription thing where you can do it for a year and then it's all done and dusted, and we'll do it a little bit of okay, so there we go. That's about it for this week. I know it's a short, very, not much really happened, just explaining things what are happening. Obviously you've only got to wait now 4 days till Friday. Hopefully what I'm going to basically do is spend all day for the rest of today, you know, what's the time now? Time now is 11 o'clock. I'm going to spend the rest of the day now working on the forum, trying to get that sorted out, and then the site, and then what I'll do is I'll do the last bits and pieces to the flanker here, and then we'll get parts 4 and 5 up onto the site. Obviously they're probably going to go up Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll just put them back to back, I won't worry about delaying them out, and then obviously other people on there. Don't forget, all the members, if you've got anything you want to see on the site, PM, let me know. I know I'm busy, but I'm never that busy. There's always time for you. And also, if anybody wants to put any builds, full builds to the work you're doing that's fantastic, and you want to put it up onto the site, which is the free bit where everybody can see it, then just shout, let me know, and we can talk to you. We were saying about before about the guys doing things. I know a few of you got in contact with me with various articles you want to write for the site. Absolutely brilliant. I'm just up to my neck in it at the moment, but literally drop me a PM, and if you don't get an answer straight away, buzz me again, because you know mine is like a complete and utter sieve at the moment.